Okay, so we're out on the skinny one now. This is the Sportster 48. Very pretty bike, all done out in gloss black, kind of vivid black with just a hint of this very kind of dark graphite lines on the tank. Very cool looking bike, and I guess it's going to appeal to people wanting to get into the brand. It's one of the more accessible bikes in the range, and I've ridden most of the Sportsters over the years, and most recently I rode a 48 a little while ago, and I also rode a Roadster. Now the Roadster, in terms of handling, was probably the best Sportster I've ever ridden. Can be thrown around quite hard, and but the 48's a little bit easier to live with in terms of riding position. Your feet are a little bit pushed out a little bit further. I found with the Roadster, when you put your feet down, the foot pegs really foul your calf muscles. It's a really awkward position, particularly if you're short, and you're probably looking at a Sportster if you're short. That's a bit of an issue, a bit of a problem. But the 48 is much cooler looking, and of course the 48 is named after the this kind of peanutty looking tank, which was first produced in 1948, and that's why they call this bike the 48, because it's a cool looking tank. The trouble with nostalgia is we look back at it through rose tinted spectacles, and blimey, my gonads felt that bump in the road. But yeah, we look back with rose tinted spectacles and we forget that actually, you know, a 2.1 gallon tank, which I think is what this is, ain't gonna get you that far. But maybe that's no bad thing. Maybe this is more of a bar hopper. Maybe you've got a 10-mile commute to work and you just have weather like this. You're blessed to live in Georgia, and you just want something cool to cruise through the traffic in at legal speeds, and not be just another cager driving a tin box, right? And for that, I think it works very well. Now this still persists with the 5-speed box, and it's a bit like having a 5-speed truck, really. You know, when everybody's moved on to you think 8 speeds, but it's actually really more like 10 speeds, and so really that's an issue for Harley to work on. I think a brand new Sportster is well overdue. They really need to bring out something that's liquid cooled, a lot more powerful, and compete a little bit more with the Indian Scout on the engine front and the Triumph Bobber on the engine front. And of course, you know, if you're into Harleys, and then probably no other brand will do anyway, so you're going to buy one no matter what. And there's nothing wrong with that. This is a perfectly good little bike. It's a lot of fun. It's been one of the longest bikes, if not the longest bike in production history, continuous production history. I think it came out, excuse my historical ignorance, but I think it came out in 49, and you know, we're in 18 now, so 67 years production, and that is a head of a statement, really. And it means that, you know, if you're after aftermarket accessories for this bike, or even, you know, OEM stuff from Harley Davidson, you ain't going to be lacking in your choice of options. And there's a good social scene for the Sportster. In the UK particularly, there's Sportster Sickness. Check them out, and check out Moto Newbie's YouTube channel. He's done a lot on the Sportsters over the years, and indeed Harleys over the years. He's becoming a bit of a Harley ambassador for the brand, and works with Harley Davidson Shores a lot. So check out his videos if you're really into Harleys, and particularly Sportsters. Although I think he's now moved on to one of the Softails now, so Anyway, I digress. Back to the 48. It's got these lovely embossed logos on the side of the tank. Very cool looking. Lovely blacked out ancillaries. You know, this top yoke is all blacked out, black bars. It's got lovely little tiny idiot lights here. You've got your neutral, you've got your like fuel warning, you've got your brights for your high beam stuff, you've got your turn indicators. I love the fact they put black levers on this for the clutch and brake. They really ought to just do that across the range as a generic thing. They just always, every bike I think that's unfinished with just a plain old cheap silvery you know, levers. They don't have to put expensive lightweights on, multi-adjustable. Just painting the thing black makes it look a million times better in my personal opinion. Not a huge fan of these underbar mirrors. They do look kind of cool in a fashion. They don't work particularly well for me. They work okay. I don't see that much of me, but trouble is I don't see that much of the road behind me. It's just, you know, about half what I'd like to be seeing really. I'd prefer some little bar end mirrors that tuck up a little bit like a Triumph Speed Triple if you like, something like that. This trunks along nicely, you know, up in 5th gear now, doing 50 miles an hour. Feels like you could sit here all day, other than the fact that the rear shocks are very harsh. There's hardly any movement in them, so it's hardly surprising, and the seat isn't the most padded. It's not terrible seat wise, but it's really the shock that just doesn't have the movement to make full use of it and enjoy it. But overall, you know, if you're into Harleys, into Sportsters, it's perhaps a good choice if you don't have a long commute, because otherwise you'll be on first name terms with your gas station employees. We've got the we've got the Sport Ride and the Fat Boy in front of me, which I just rode both. I really enjoyed that Sport Glide, that was a lot of fun. And the Fat Boy is a really nice modern take on a endearing theme. Unfortunately, the young lady on the back of that Fat Boy in front of us has no ankle protection whatsoever, not even a pair of socks. And if you do come off the bike, I understand if you damage your ankle, it's about the very worst thing can happen to you, because you'll go for an ankle bone in no problem whatsoever, and then there's jack shit they can do for you apparently. I think they just fuse the bone and you're walking like a penguin for the rest of your life, which is food for thought. And back to the ranch. We're at Killer Creek, Harley Davidson today. Big shout out to them. They're great guys. The riders group here, the HOG, Harley Owners Group, they put on the marshalling and organising this event, and of course the dealership facilitate in terms of provision of these you know, very latest bikes to try out, and big up respect to any dealer that does that. And if you're the sort of person that feels a bit kind of shy about coming along on demo days or riding a dealer's demo bike, absolutely don't. It's absolutely your duty to get out there, try them all, find out what you like and don't like, and even if you don't buy, you're going to tell your friends, yeah, I love that bike, you know, I love the Sport Glide, it was really exciting to ride, or, you know, yeah, that little Sporty, the 48, wow, great fun. And then they buy a bike, and that's what it's all about for you, and that's what it's all about for the dealer. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe,